क्रिकेट टीवी जहां मिलने लगी क्रिकेट की सारी बातें जहां जोश भी है जहां होश भी है जहां क्रिकेट है आओ देखें क्रिकेट टीवी.
Hello and welcome back to Cricket TV. I'm Hetvi Patel, and what a week it has been for Indian cricket team, men and women. What a contrasting chain of events. Indian men lost to Ireland 2-0 and then whitewashed in England 4-0. We'll start with, and then it was the Indian women's team who made history. Nikhil sir, we will start with you on the men's debacle.
Yeah, I think the pharmaceutical shares have shot up. I think the depression drugs are all-time high sales. I think they put 140 crore Indians under depression. So I think it was a not, I would say, expected that this should happen, but it was on the cards.
Right.
Something had to give with the amount of cricket that these people are playing and the fatigue that is there. The entire overdoing things that happens when you play throughout the year, because the stress of playing an international match is massive. You can never underestimate the stress that players go through when they play in front of a massive crowd. So first the World Cup, then the IPL, then the series, then multiple series. So I think they play about 150 days a year. It's just not possible for you to keep up the same tempo, the same performance, the same efficiency. It's got to weigh you down. And I think if we compare the amount of cricket that Indian cricketers play as say an England team or an Irish team, it's just not the same.
Right.
They come, they're more raring, they're more physically fit, they know the environment. I think this was on the cards, honestly speaking. Maybe Shreya the year, maybe the selectors knew and they wanted a scapegoat, and so they threw Shreya's right in. He was the perfect candidate for that. So, but anyway, I think all the lighter part apart, I think I think the right time for the BCCI to really, there's a lot of talk about workload.
Right.
When Jasprit Bumrah had this issue a couple of years back, we were all saying, what is his workload? I think you play, you don't play. I think that has to be looked at very seriously. You cannot just expect your cricketers to play at your whims and fancies. यहाँ भी खेलो, वहाँ भी खेलो, ये भी खेलो, और फिर बीच में उनकी shooting assignments.
Correct.
सबको पैसा कमाना है.
Yep.
तो जब क्रिकेट नहीं खेलते हैं तब शूटिंग करते हैं. तो शूटिंग इज ऑल्सो नॉट अ जॉब. उसमें भी स्ट्रेस हो जाता है. तो मुझे क्या लगता है वो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस में नहीं है. At the end of the day, you must ensure that your cricketers, if they have to perform at a certain level of international cricket, you must allow them to live the life of an international cricketer and not treat them like a money-making machine. I think that has to stop. And this is the classic example, because everybody who was playing in Ireland and England were top-class cricketers. You cannot doubt the form or the class of people like Arshdeep Singh, Arshit Rana, Shreya Iyer, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Look at that young kid, what he must have gone through. And I think it's really high time that we stop looking at cricket as a money-making machine and start looking at it as a sport.
Correct.
A sport that makes money, no doubt about it. Nobody wants to do a charity organization, but there are limits to what you do. There's limits to, in corporate India, we call it sweating your asset. There's a limit to how much you can sweat your asset. So I think classic two series where we need to learn our lessons and make changes to the way BCCI, according to me, is managing cricket in India for decades.
Right. नारायण सर, अगर स्टेट्स की बात करें, नंबर्स की बात करें, तो England seemed to be in control on most of the time, while India didn't seem to have a plan against England. हमने same aggressive हमारा जो pattern था, we followed that through and through, but apparently it didn't work. And do you think now everybody's prepared for Indian batsmen to be that aggressive?
So, Hetvi, if you just see out of the 4 matches, 5वां मैच हुआ नहीं, हो सकता है कि 4-0 के बदले में 5-0 भी हो सकता था, the way they have played. Now, if you see the breakdown of runs which India scored, so Manchester 197 wickets, Nottingham 76 all out, 11.4 overs, and Bristol 158, 7 wickets lost, and Southampton 201, 8 wickets lost. So, what did India do? India scored 625 runs and lost 32 wickets. सामने बॉलिंग का क्या किया इंडिया ने, है ना? पहले में 19 overs में वन took 6 wickets. Second में 20 overs bowled 201 runs, 7 wickets. 13.5 in that match, 159 runs, 1 wicket. And in the last 20 overs, 257 and 3 wicket. तो क्या किए, 72 ओवर्स बॉलिंग किए, टोटल रन कंसीड किए 808 और टोटल विकेट लिए सिर्फ 17. So you can see the difference between the batting and the bowling actually. And that is why the margins of defeat are also, first they lost by 4 wickets, second they lost by 125 runs, second lowest T20 total है इंडिया का 76 रन का. Bristol they lost by 9 wickets, and Southampton they lost by 56 wickets. So आप समझ सकते हो कि दोनों में फर्क क्या है एक्चुअली, बेसिकली. तो एक तो वो है, you are very clear कि England batting overran India throughout the tournament, no doubt about that. अगर last match देखो आप, बटलर और ब्रुक ने 233 रन की सेकंड विकेट पार्टनरशिप करी है, इट्स द हाईएस्ट पार्टनरशिप इन T20 हिस्ट्री देखा जाए तो एंड वो भी ऐसा नहीं है, इंडिया ने 250 रन के बाद में फिर इंडिया का 200 पे ऑल आउट हो गई है. सो दूसरा क्या हो रहा है कि टॉप ऑर्डर मिस फायर कर रहा है. इंग्लैंड तो डोमिनेट कर ही रहा है, अभिषेक नहीं खेल रहा है, ईशान नहीं खेल रहा है, श्रेयस अय्यर कैप्टन नहीं खेल रहा है, और वैभव उसको खिलाया उन्होंने 3 मैच में, वो भी नहीं खेल रहा है. और 2 बार तो जोफ्रो आर्चर जो उनके राजस्थान के कलीग हैं उन्होंने आउट किया उनको, देखा जाए तो, सो 42 रन मारे हैं. सो देयर वाज मीन स्ट्रक्चरल बैटिंग इश्यूज एक्चुअली. ऐसा देखो, तिलक वर्मा इंडियन एशियन कंडीशन में अच्छा खेलते हैं, वहां नहीं खेल पाए. सो ये एक मोटा मोटी हो सकता है. एंड की एब्सेंस भी फर्क हुई होगी ना, बुमराह नहीं था, हार्दिक नहीं था, सूर्य कुमार यादव नहीं था. सो दे वर पॉसिबली की एब्सेंस ऑफ द मेन प्लेयर्स आल्सो मस्ट हैव फर्क पड़ा होगा इंडिया को. दिस इज व्हाट आई फील बेसिकली. कहाँ गया और कहाँ फिर अभी स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस आगे करने हैं इंडिया को, वो करने पड़ेंगे.
Correct.
Yeah, and he dropped 11 catches in 7 matches. The 2 of Ireland and the 5 of England. That again shows you the efficiency. Some statistics says that 72% efficiency of catching. When you're playing such a strong team in their home ground, you cannot afford that. I think even though the bowling may have been more decent than the scores looked like, the fielding doesn't support you, you can't do anything. And I think that again comes from lack of practice, lack of energy, lack of physical fitness. These things all come into play. And I think this is where the difference is. England, on the other hand, was absolutely on the dot. I think that the number of guys they talk about the statistic now, but much less than what India did. So I think overall very poor performance and calls for a lot of hard searching. I know it's easy to say let's go back to Loco and let's get Surya Kumar back and let's get Jasprit Bumrah back. All that is very easy to say, but I don't think even if these gentlemen were there in this series, that there would be much of a difference in the result. You could have probably done a 4-1 or a 3-2, but England clearly dominated. And I think a lot of hard searching.
Yes. Coming back to Narayan sir's point, when you mentioned the scores and the way England won, we were struggling with bowling as well. We could not defend a total of 195 or 200, which apparently is a decent score. Are we struggling with bowling? Because we have been, and we are looking for a good bowler, but looks like we cannot.
So I think a lot of dependence on Mohammad Siraj, a lot of dependence on Jasprit Bumrah was there in the earlier series, if you see, and also Mohammad Shami. And they have been star bowlers. And now you have only, I think, the common connection to the Arshdeep. So you have a newbie like a Harshit Rana who comes in, or even a Prince Yadav, who I think did a good job, by the way. It's good analysis. His bowling was reasonably good. But it's still not, you pick somebody out of an IPL and then put him in one of the toughest tours that you have, which is England and England. It's not fair for us to expect Prince Yadav to be a match winner in that type of a series. But I think, yes, you're right. There is an issue with the bowling. We need to get match winners back. Prasiddha Krishna, unfortunately, didn't do what he was supposed to. He is a match winner, by the way. I don't know what in this series, again, too much cricket for him because he played the Test series earlier, then he played the IPL, then he played the World Cup, then he played other series. Maybe too much workload on him. I don't know. But otherwise, from a form perspective, he was out of form. Prince did what he could do. Arshdeep also did a few good things, but drop catches, 11 drop catches, I think 3 or 4 were of his bowling. So we can't blame him. And but we do need to take a fresh look at our bowling, especially our pace bowling. I think on the spin side, we don't worry much. We're pretty good, much sorted with a lot of talent like Washington Sundar around, the all rounders around. But on the pace bowling side, fully with you, we have to need to have a reboot. And we have a lot of talent on the bench, by the way.
Right. Narayan sir, like Nikhil sir said, कि workload होता है. Apparently, Shreyas Iyer is a new captain, and maybe he was a scapegoat. He became a scapegoat because we have seen him in IPL leading teams to finals, which has been struggling single-handedly. So he's a great captain in himself. But the defeat in Ireland, was that something he lost confidence in, or did it was that the reason why you lost to England? The psychological reason, of course.
ऑफ कोर्स सी क्या होता है, आप एक नॉन प्लेइंग नॉन रेगुलरली प्लेइंग नेशन के सामने, वो भी एक नहीं दोनों मैच हार जाते हो, है ना, तो आपके माइंडसेट होगा ही होगा खराब बेसिकली, कि भाई आगे क्या होगा। लेकिन क्या है कि इंग्लैंड के साथ रेगुलर खेलते हैं अपने, कई बार ऐसा नहीं है कि अपन वन ऑफ खेलते हैं, तो दैट कुड हैव बीन केप्ट behind, and now the team management has so many specialists over there. You have a specialist bowler, bowling coach, you have a batting coach, you have a fielding coach, you have a psychologist, everybody to help you out. So ये सब तो अभी बोलने की बातें हैं कि भाई उसका भी एक फॉल आउट होगा। आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड एक्चुअली प्रेस में ये लिखा था कि इंग्लैंड की जो स्पेसिफिक कंडीशंस है फॉर प्रिपरेशन फॉर सीम मूवमेंट, यू नो, द पिचेस फास्ट एवरीथिंग, उसको एडेप्ट नहीं कर सके एक्चुअली इंडियंस उधर पहुंचने के बाद में, है ना। वो भी एक हो सकता है कारण के उनको वहां समझ में नहीं आया कि भाई कैसे क्या हो रहा है, और उन्होंने यू नो टू मच ऑफ सोशल मीडिया प्रेशर के कारण सूर्यवंशी को खिलाया एक्चुअली, देखा जाए तो देयर वाज थॉट प्रोसेस था, खिलाए नहीं खिलाए, खिलाए और खिलाए, और इंग्लैंड समझती है ना, आर्चर समझता है कि ये बंदा क्या खेलता है कैसे खेलता है, सो दे लेड अ ट्रैप फॉर हिम इन ऑल द मैचेस ही हैज प्लेड। सो अभी एक तरह से उनको एक समझना चाहिए, सो लाइक यंग टैलेंट लाइक सूर्यवंशी, ग्रेजुअली उनको एक्सपोज करे, टू हॉस्टाइल पेस bowling and everything instead of just doing it out of social pressure.
Right.
One thing I would like to mention is England's star performers, if you see who perform, have all played in the IPL. So what happens is that familiarity with Indian players and the way they bowl or the way they bat is very high. So for them to assess the competition with the playing is very easier than say if they're playing in West Indies or Australia or any other nation, because they play in India with the Indian team every year, and that for 100 days. Now that gives them a sort of, and remind myself, sir. So I think I agree with Narayan. We did read the conditions. We also know how Jofra Archer wants. But if our batsmen play with Jofra Archer the way they play in Wankhede, and the same way they approach Jofra Archer in the Old Trafford, it doesn't work.
Yes.
You have to understand the conditions are different. Jofra Archer and Wankhede is different from Jofra Archer Old Trafford. I think we just fail to understand. Where is the Vaibhav Suryavanshi in Wankhede? Where is the Vaibhav Suryavanshi in Old Trafford?
It's different.
It's much diluted. So I think this disconnect, mental disconnect, which our players would have taken with them, may have been one of the major reasons why we were not able to assess the competition and approach it accordingly.
Today we have ODI series starting with England. One thing that BCCI as a management should take care of, because we cannot pinpoint or blame one person or just the captain here with the 6 losses that have been happening. One comment for BCCI.
No, I think BCCI के साथ अभी, if you again I repeat my limited point, they have to stop treating cricket like a money making machine and restart treating cricket as a sport
Correct.
that makes money. Okay, so I think that नजरिया बदलना जरूरी है और उसको थोड़ा, और अपने पास थोड़ी सी कमी थोड़ी है। मुझे लगता है हमारे पास 44 लोग हैं, हम 4 इंडियन टीम बना सकते, not one, of equal quality. You can look at the people playing the ODI. Look at the bowlers. Gurnoon Brar is there, who's come from a very very amazing India. I think India A or whichever team he was playing with. Performance. Prince is back in the same team. Prasidh Krishna Arshdeep. Then Jasprit Bumrah is supposed to be in the team. I don't know whether he's going to play, how many matches, both good, etc. But with Jasprit and Rocco coming back, is that going to make a difference? And the jury is out on that. And in case that does happen, you have to look at both the sides. If it doesn't happen, I won't be surprised. If it does happen, then there's going to be a huge hue and cry in India saying, why are Rocco not there in the T20? Why did they retire? Bring them back, bring them back, bring them back. That will be retrograde according to me. We should not have that approach. So I think the ODI, different animal from a T20, so you really can't compare, because the methodology of bowling, batting, fielding, planning or attack, all that is very different. So it's comparing oranges and apples. But going into the ODI with some fresh faces, old faces but fresh for the team, will, I'm sure, make a difference, and hopefully we'll do a better job and the sale of antidepressants will go down.
Yes, and I agree with you. I think Rocco could not be a solution even if they play. I mean, they are retiring at some point, even from ODIs. So it's not a solution. We need to bring up new players, and they need to start performing, and they need to become the new Rocco, right? Narayan sir, your thoughts on the upcoming ODI series?
So if you see now, there are 3 formats of cricket: the T20, ODI, and the Test match. T20 is the most favorite, correct? And the Test is the most pious. वो चलेगा. ODI मेरे को लगता है 5-10 साल के अंदर में फेज ऑफ एक्चुअली. अभी रिसेंटली कमेंट था कि उसको 40 ओवर करना चाहिए. So and I agree to Nikhil that the management of any cricket playing nation should have specialists in all these forms of cricket. They don't depend on each other. अभी ये भी बोल रहे हैं कि अभी शुभम गिल को वापस लाएंगे T20 के अंदर. So ऐसा नहीं है कि वो नहीं खेल रहा उसको वहां डाल दो, उसको नहीं खेलता वहां डाल दो, ऐसा नहीं होता है. So some of the other cricket, as Nikhil mentioned, not to be played purely for commercial purposes, but as a sport, and it is a sport which is as widely respected as the football which is going on today. Soccer World Cup चल रहा है उसका भी. So, and there are a lot of test playing nations, and in fact lot of other nations are now also being sent kits by the ICCI at various places. A lot of the African countries and other Asian countries. So cricket as a form will there. Even women have taken up cricket like anything. तो क्रिकेट अच्छा खेलना चाहिए. सो इट इज नॉट ओनली दिस ओडीआई सीरीज जो कि रोको को उनको वापस लिया है और खेले. जीत तो होगी, कोई भी गेम में हार और जीत तो होनी है एग्जैक्टली. और हर एक गेम में ऐसे भी होगा व्हेन देयर इज अ ट्रांजिशन फेज, व्हेन द ओल्डीज एंड द पीपल हु हैव डन इट वो जब निकलते हैं, नया टीम बनने में टाइम लगता है, उसमें हार भी होगी बेसिकली, ऐसा नहीं है. बट उसको ओवरऑल इमीडिएटली नी जर्क रिएक्शन नहीं करना चाहिए. This is what I feel basically.
And just one last comment from me. We have to stop using IPL as a barometer of cricketers ready to enter international cricket. We have to stop that, because all matches are played in India. All matches are played on Indian pitches. Indian pitches are, they're very benign.
Yeah.
They're not vicious, which is like you would see in England, Africa, even sometimes West Indies. So I think, yes, you can say that, okay, we can shortlist 30, 40, 50 people, but just because of Vaibhav Suryavanshi has made 900 runs or 1000 runs or 1200 runs in the IPL, and then pick him up and put him in England and in English conditions, uh, is that the right approach? I think we need to revisit that aspect of
Recording
choosing
in progress.
or deciding on the ability of a cricketer to be put into an international team. I think under 19 India A, and that too in India A playing in England would have been more better for Vaibhav Suryavanshi than coming straight into the Indian team,
Correct.
the major team England. I think that progression, we sometimes do a lot of hero worshipping. अरे क्या बढ़िया खेलता है, क्या बढ़िया खेलता है, ये तो बहुत डाल दो उसको मेजर टीम में, 14 साल का बच्चा है. You have to understand that, and I think that's where we sometimes just take, and then you dropped him in the 5th match. I think that was again major. Why did you drop him in the 5th match? You would have given him one more chance. Series तो वैसे ही गया था.
Exactly.
आपको एक मैच जीत के क्या होना?
Yeah.
तो उसको आप और एक चाल देते शायद फर्क पड़ता. 200 तो आपने बना दिया उसके बगैर, वो होता तो शायद 250 भी बन जाते. तो मुझे लगता है ये थोड़ा सा सोचना जरूरी है कि आईपीएल बैरोमीटर है हमारी टीम चूज करने का, या फिर जो नॉर्मल प्रोसेस होता है अंडर 19 इंडिया ए एंड देन इंडिया, that if we follow that, and a lot of international cricket, send Vaibhav to England and say go and play county cricket, understand the weather, they understand the conditions, come back and then play. That's very important.
Bit of maturity, because IPL is all fun and games, and
Yeah.
it cannot be while it is a lot of times the audition for new young players to showcase themselves, it cannot be it. They have to follow the hierarchy and the process of how cricket works. Narayan sir, ये तो था ODI का. Let's see how men's team perform.
आओ देखे क्रिकेट टीवी, जहां मिलेगी क्रिकेट की सारी बातें, जहां जोश भी है, जहां होश भी है, जहां क्रिकेट है. आओ देखे क्रिकेट